Hello and welcome to Spec Scootz. I'm Comp. I'm here today to do a little bit of unboxing of a few things and see what we've got in these packages here. I ordered a DJI Avata 2 and the DJI FPV Controller 3. What the Avata 2 is an FPV drone quadcopter. FPV stands for first person view. So rather than line of sight, LOS, where you're on the ground looking at something, first person view is you put on goggles and there's a live video feed coming from the craft to the goggles and you're able to see in real time what's going on and control it that way. The FPV Controller 2 gives you full manual control that it turns it into basically a full manual FPV drone. There also is a motion controller to it too. I have yet to ever use a motion controller. Sounds like it's pretty awesome. Advanced features like head tracking with the goggles. We're gonna get into all that and see what it takes to get from getting the package to actually getting it set up on the app and get it in the air. So super excited. Something that I've always been passionate about. I've been a drone pilot and an FPV pilot, Part 107 for over 10 years now, or Part 107 for a good amount of that time. So I'm excited to take a look at what's in here and get into also some not just micro mobility of movement, but this is almost sitting down and micro mobility, soaring like a bird in your brain. It gives you the feeling of almost being on a fighter jet, being able to soar around. So let's get into it and see what's in here. Let's get into the Avata 2 box. We've got the lithium warning label on here. Cannot be shipped on passenger airlines. Purchased this on Amazon. And inside the box, got some classic stuffing. And there it is. This is the Fly More combo with 3 batteries. And there is also Fly Smart combo, and that changes what type of goggles that you get. There are goggles 3 and there's goggles 3N. And the goggles 3 is quite a bit of a better product as far as what I can tell. I have not used either one, but all the reviews and everything I've seen, it's worth it to stick with the goggles 3 rather than the goggles 3N. Nice plastic around on it. Just like Apple products, they've got these little tear-off stickers. Ta-da! Scan QR code before first use and install the DJI Fly app. All DJI stuff that you basically have to go into their app and register in order to use them. Even these action cameras. This is the Osmo Action 5 Pro. Nice carrying bag that it came with. Basically just a tag for the sling bag. Some side pockets to it, which is nice. I'll get it unzipped. All right. Everything's got its own little place in here, which is nice. We'll start with the main craft, the Avata 2. It's been around for a couple years, but still is the standard for the DJI FPV infrastructure. Ta-da! Very nice. Do not touch the air intake to avoid burns and chopping your fingers and the propellers. Gimbal guard on it. Charge to activate the intelligent flight battery before using for the first time. It's got sensors on the back, sensors on the bottom, and camera on the front. Little sticker on the battery. Nice battery compartment to it. Well made, like anything that DJI makes. Let's take a look at the goggles. Hello, cat. How does it look? Bit of foam for packaging. Battery is in the back. Kind of odd nose covering flaps, but you can adjust diopter and inner pupillary distance. Real nice looking goggles. We've got the additional batteries and charging dock. Supposedly around 20 minutes of flight time. So that will be a lot of fun to be able to crank through packs. And lastly, the motion controller. Nice little motion controller that you can steer and function, fly it around with just this. So that is pretty excellent looking. We will get these batteries on the charge and then go through a bit of the setup. Oh, almost lost. There's a lanyard as well for the motion controller. Looks like that lanyard just goes into the bottom. Slide that through. Good to have a lanyard because your mind's going to be behind the goggles and be probably pretty easy to just kind of flail this around and drop this. So let's set that aside and let's take a look at before we're done with this, what's up in the top. So accessories inside is what the sticker says. Comes with a little Allen wrench, USB-C to C cord, 4 props, 4 replacement props. We've got -2 corrective lens adapters, which is really nice. That I've got about a -3.5 prescription, but these will do very nice that if I don't have my contacts in, I can still fly it because there's almost no room for you to wear glasses and get this goggle set on your face. So that is really nice that they include those. Padding strap for the headband. And then a USB-A to old school regular USB to USB-C adapter. Decent amount of nice accessories. Let's say the little Allen wrench is there for changing the propellers. Nice amount of accessories. Set that aside and let's take a look at what's in the Controller 3 box. Ta-da! So you can fly it with just the motion controller, but that's kind of intermediate mode. That if you want to get true FPV flight feeling, this controller is where it comes in handy. Controller also works with the O4 Air unit, more of DJI's digital FPV infrastructure. Gives you the ability to, they've even got Air Unit 4 Lite that can go into little tiny drones, like tiny whoop size. So no antennas protruding on it, everything's built in there. Got the little gimbal sticks, control sticks buried in their little hidey places. Start stop and camera functions, a couple different mode sliders on the top, and those functions there. So these little sticks, very small threads to them. One of the main complaints from FPV pilots that I've heard is that these sticks are pretty small. In the school of flying RC planes and drones, there's kind of two schools of it. There's people that use their thumbs, just like a gaming controller, and then there's people that pinch, where you basically have your index fingers up and around the top, and you pinch like that. So not too bad for, I'm mostly a pincher nowadays, and gimbals feel pretty plasticky and tiny, but it's quite a small package, not a big like new Radio Master. They're the big ones in the game for FPV controllers, and then comes with a little Allen wrench and a booklet to it. All right, let's get things charged, and then we'll get them connected to the app, and we'll get in the air. All right, let's see what it takes to get everything connected. I've got things mostly charged up. Was not patient enough for a full charge on the battery to get this connection filmed. I've got was charging the goggles on a power bank. The motion controller is charging on one of the cheap e-bikes, and got the controller charged. Let's take a look at what it takes to get things connected. So we've got the DJI Fly app here, and we'll go to Connection Guide. We'll go down to Avata, DJI Avata 2, and we're working with the Goggles 3. Press battery power button once, and then press and hold it again to power on the goggles. So we're going to press it once, then press and hold, and it turns on the goggles. Got the DJI logo in there. Then it says to connect a USB cable to the mobile device. So in order to go to this is a little iPhone 13 mini, which that cord has seen some better days. I've got lightning, and then it came with this adapter. So pretty nice that it came with the adapter. Get that plugged to the phone. Get that plugged in. And let's see what happens. And then talking about the drone. And then also, I think I noticed that it has, well, it wants me to activate the goggles. So we're going to go to activate. I'm already logged into my account on the DJI Fly app. So successful activation of the goggles, and it looks like there's a firmware update that it downloaded as well. So going to update the firmware of the goggles. Avata 2, and so remove the gimbal protector. It's like mostly comes up from the bottom, and the actual camera has a protective sticker over it. And we will slide the battery in. And same kind of thing, short press and press and hold. Does some little clicky clicks. Powered on, pair now. Press and hold the aircraft button, power button for 4 seconds until the aircraft beeps. indicating the aircraft's ready to be connected. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. It beeped. Powered on, pair now. Pair now. Okay, failed. Pressing and holding for 4 seconds again. It beeped. Aircraft beeped. Pairing. Okay. I'm going to go with motion controller 3. Turn this on. And the goggles are asking for the update again. A lot of kind of swinging around on this, that it's trying to do installing the update and connecting at the same time. Probably not the best. We'll give this its time to update here. Kind of sucks that there's no lens cover for those. Update's done. Then now we're going to activate the drone. Activate DJI device. Activating. It looks like the SD card slot for this is underneath this little door on the side. And appears logo down for the SD card. Now it wants to do an update on the motion controller. We've got some setup languages in there, and it definitely does not start on English. Well, I think that it is ready to try to fly with the motion controller. There's a dial on the back of it that adjusts the tightness of it. Motor starting, press and hold the lock button to take off. Okay, we're recording in the goggles now. You're able to see what I'm able to see. Each time I go to press the accelerator, it just turns right. Hello. You gonna help? No, you're gonna smack it. You're not a fan of the Neo 2, hey? Okay, okay. Cool, thank you. Oh yeah, I was doing it wrong the whole time. It's not axial. It's roll control and not yaw control. So I was doing that wrong. Well, we've got everything now fully updated and got a fully charged battery in the Avata 2. Let's go through and do a little bit of flying with the motion controller and see how that is. So up and down are able to be controlled with the gimbal, with the motion controller. And then you press and hold the throttle, the finger throttle bit, just a little bit. And then when you tilt, when you do a roll function basically on the motion controller, it moves back and forth. And then you press a little bit more and it starts moving. We are in beginner mode. I keep wanting to basically yaw the stick, but it's not. It's a roll control. Get it positioned right in front of the camera. Says we have about 20 minutes of flight time left. And then I can use the joystick so I can slide it to the right, slide it to the left, go up, and go down. I can look down, I can look up. Let's turn on head tracking mode. And then now I'm controlling the gimbal with my head. You can pretty much look behind you, almost falling over. It's kind of odd in the head tracking mode, because when you press the trigger forward, it's always going to go in the direction of the drone. But pretty cool. You can look down, look up. Let's take that off. Head tracking off. Let's go to settings. Safety. Got your max flight altitude, your return to home altitude. And you can update the home point there. Control. Oh, controls between right and left-handedness. How do I go back? Okay, pushed forward on it. Change this to Imperial. And we'll disable beginner mode. Pretty easy to navigate around in this thing. Okay, now we've got a circle on the screen that helps you to figure out where you're going. Got the home point listed there. Oof. So just to go straight up, it's kind of hard. I almost have to use the joystick to go up. It is not very fast. Now we change modes. Sport mode. Okay, should go up a lot faster now. Well, only about 3 miles per hour vertical ascension. This turned. And I'm soaring. Pretty intuitive with the motion controller. About 30 miles per hour. Got my home point there. But pretty cool as far as somebody who doesn't know how to fly. This is a pretty cool way to easily and intuitively control the device. Signal still is pretty good. 3 out of 4 bars, 4 out of 4 bars. Even able to punch through the trees. That's picture mode. Interesting. Got some power lines over here. Signal is degrading because of all the trees, but pretty impressive. It is able to make it punch through all these trees. What do we got over here? Is there a cat here? There's a cat here. Hello, cat. Quite fun to fly. So there's 10 minutes left still. Sport mode, full speed run. 35. About 35 miles per hour. Still fully pinned. I don't know where my little where my little home point went. Ooh, some big shake on deceleration. Just push through that stick. What does he got over here? Or he's just kicking leaves? Are you just smacking leaves? See how well it can punch through the trees going this way. It is quite the long... Yeah, that's not great. Quite impressive that's able to punch through the trees that well. That is a lot of trees to push through. I would call that a successful motion controller flight. Quite intuitive with the control. Not the most like soaring around fun FPV freestyle like, but definitely very nice and smooth, consistent control to it. I like it. Thank you so much for watching out of Spec Scootz. You have a great day.